subscribed. Most kind.
How really?
Hi you beautiful bean, 68 months,
Oh my
that's
lord.
like a real not any who hope you had a fantastical weekend. 'Twas my birthday-versary yesterday. I managed another rotation around that bloody ball of hot gas. Valenv clap Valen VSB Valenv the 3 times I've typed this and Twitch keeps messing it up LMAO.
Well, I appreciate you typing it for the 68th time again. There we go. Lunicorn, you be cheeky devil. I'll be with you momentarily. Happy birthday for yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, all gents outside between delve deep into your bits of popcorn and throw them at the raiders. Throw them at these cheeky devils. Look at these people coming in here. I mean, really, could you even imagine? How you doing, Rainclad? Hello, you beautiful individual friends. I am so fucking tired. I'm so tired. I am so tired. I met Raincloud many moons ago. One of the first TwitchCon that I ever went to. Not TwitchCon, the first Twitch what's the word? Twitch London I ever went to. But people go, you doing some World of Warcraft? Can I get another shout out for Raincloud, please, darling moderators? I saw Nibirin in here and Jam in here. Could I get another one so that they can pop up and see the wonderful logo and what have you? Thank you very much. Oh, get out of the way, Monty. Good lord. People go check out Raincloud. Raincloud's a wonderful human being. A very happy-go-lucky scamp of an individual. How was the joys of World of Warcraft, you cheeky little devil? How was World of Warcraft? Did you do raids? Did you buy new mounts? Did you make yourself look really pretty with giant shoulder pads? Tell me about it. Tell me how you doing. How's it going? Welcome on in, all you cheeky little raiders.
Subscribed.
Good lord.
Most kind.
Thanks to @Zybadian for my sub gift.
You little gem, you Alexandra. How you doing? Welcome on in, Raiders friends. If you're new here, 2 things you need to know about this channel. 1, you're not allowed to apologize. Instead of saying sorry, try saying thank you. Instead of saying sorry, I'm late, say thanks for waiting. Instead of saying sorry, I'm such a burden, say thanks for being there for me. 2, if you're under the age of 18, I have to ask you to leave because I am a colossal filth wizard and it will get really unhinged, especially because I have just walked in from a weekend away in Portugal for my little brother's stag do, my little brother's like bachelor party, and it's there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. I'm so tired. But I have a beer. I'm still in the same clothes. I literally walked in the door, put face on, and I've pressed go live. So I'm not prepared. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. I have no fucking clue what's going on. Anyway, Raincloud, thank you very much for bringing your beautiful people here. If you need to disappear off, go grab a snaffly treat, go grab some kind of delightful beverages. Please go do so. Please look after yourself. I know you've been streaming for a while, so please let me know how you're doing. If you need to disappear off, please do so. Thank you so much for bringing your beautiful people. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you, beautiful being. Allow me to then go to Lunicorn. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday for yesterday, dear Lunicorn. Happy birthday to you. Oh my lordy. Lunicorn, happy birthday anniversary for yesterday. Also, we've got Grito with the 30 stream streak, Jalis with the 340 stream streak, Lunicorn with the 150 stream streak, Eris with the 420 stream streak, Zuibu with the 175 stream streak, Tigger Valini with the 7 stream streak, Loki the Khajiit with the 7 stream streak as well. And that's us all. And finally, we'll get there. That was impressive. Thank you very much. I've got deep lungs. Deep lungs. And finally, I will inscribe the names of Alexander Griffin on the mirror vein for their 5th of their 6 months.
Hand it to it.
Is the Chew-Who here yet?
No chews tonight. No chews tonight. You can fuck yourselves. No choo-choos. I'm too tired for a choo-choo. It's fucking 10 p.m. at night. I am 3 hours later than I normally start streaming. I have just had the worst fucking journey back from... Actually, it wasn't the worst journey. It was just a pretty fucking bad journey. The entire flight back was delayed by an hour and a half, where they wouldn't let us get off the plane. We had to sit on the fucking plane for an hour and a half on a tiny little Ryanair flight. And then there was traffic all the way home. So, yeah. No more of that shit. No. So we have Hey Alexander Griffin, Lunicorn, 666, then Milky Pork gifted one into Midgard, and Lena Laura gifted one into the community as well. Now we'll inscribe all of those names upon the mirror vein. Midgard Falls, Lunicorn. And then, hey, Alexander Griffin. All of those names have been inscribed on the mirror vein. By having their names on the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devils. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you'll roll over every morning, look in the mirror and go, God, do I look rough? But God damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow. You know? I wasn't having a go at you, by the way, Sweetie Booty. I'm just tired. I am just tired. Because, yeah, it's the entire weekend there's been a lack of sleep, an overabundance of alcohol. I nearly got arrested. There was a lot. There was a lot that happened. 99% of it was fucking amazing. It was great. But hand it to my ego. Hand it to it. Hand it to it.
Hey Val. First, glad you made it to and from safely. Secondly, did you know that Mozart killed all his chickens? I didn't either. Apparently when he asked who their favorite composer was, they all said Bach.
Alright, thank you very much for 100 little panderings. Let's swiftly move on. A Bulls Gaming, how you doing? How's it going? And Philly Fitzberg, hello you cheeky little devil. I've been listening way too much. Where was I? Halo, and thought you were about to start the main theme. Oh, maybe. I fucking love the Halo theme tune. It's great. It's fantastic. Aries, genuinely, thank you very much for the 100 little panderings. I just am not. As you can see, I'm too tired. I'm too fucking tired. But I do genuinely appreciate the 100 little panderings. I appreciate you doing the thingies. Enjoy the welcome home dad joke. I promise is the only one for the week. I'll be nice to you for your birthday. There's no point in being nice to me for my birthday, Aris. Come Thursday, it's gonna be fucking chaos anyway. Friends, welcome on in. How you doing? How's it going? There was a poll. Valen is a glutton for punishment.
Panda to it. Panda to it.
No pun here.
Okay.
Glad to see your face.
Thank you. I'm yeah. There is a good chance, friends. There is a good chance that I shouldn't have streamed tonight. There is a good chance that I should just be like, do you know what? I shouldn't stream tonight. I should just go to bed. I should just go to bed. I should just do that. But I'm not. I'm still here. I was meant to start. So if the plane had been on time, I would have started stream at about 8 p.m. But the plane wasn't on time because there was a fire in Wales, and the smoke from the fire in Wales meant that all air traffic to Manchester Airport was delayed. Who would have thought? No one would predict that. No, I know, right? What are the chances? What are the chances? But I did want to come on tonight. I wanted to enjoy saying hello to everybody. I wanted to say hi to you all because this is going to be a busy week anyway. Because we've got the birthday party on Thursday. So chaos and shenanigans there. But also I'm not going to get too many opportunities, I don't think, this week to talk about the weekend. So I'm like, I want to do a bit of a recap. Do you know what I mean? To talk about some of the wonderful things that happened. And go to bed, Val, that's not going to happen. If you're realizing why Mr. Pickles stopped eating his particular paprika, okay. A max in Buzz. Sure. Enjoy playing with your Mr. Pickles. I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope you have a wonderful time. So, yeah, for those people that didn't know, I went away to Portugal for the weekend. We went to Porto for my little brother's stag do, my little brother's bachelor party. And it was great. It was chaos. It was wonderful. However, it started. I went to the Port of Gulls. Is it the Port of Gulls? Is that a thing? I don't know. Because of the way that it ended up being, in order for me to get out to Portugal, they booked a flight at like 3 p.m. on the Friday. They got them, no, at 1 p.m. on the Friday. They got them in at 3 p.m. on the Friday. And then our flight was meant to be 3 p.m. out on the Monday, but evidently got delayed. So that flight was available, but I didn't have the money because it's very expensive to go abroad for a stag do. I didn't have the money to just freely give out that kind of cash. So I was like, right, I'll pay for the accommodation first, and then if I can't go because I don't have enough money, then I will, at least somebody's not missing out on paying for my bit of the accommodation. Do you know what I mean? And if I can go, that would be great, and then I'll be able to sort it all out. The difference in price between the plane that I got at 7 a.m. in the morning and the plane that they all got at 1 p.m. was like £250. So I was like, I'll just go I'll just go for a really early flight. The only way I could get that flight was to get a train down on the Thursday evening at 10 p.m, which got me into Manchester Airport at 9 minutes past 1 in the morning, and then stay at Manchester Airport overnight till they announced the boarding for my 7 a.m. flight. I curled up on the floor outside of security because security wasn't open when I arrived. Went to Porto in Portugal. I haven't said hello to everybody. I appreciate all of your patience. I'm going to try, and this is going to be a bit of an odd stream because I'm so tired. And I have tried to... Yeah, there's a lot has happened. A lot has happened. It was great. It was a genuinely fantastic weekend. But like I said, nearly got arrested. I say nearly got arrested. There was an altercation, and the altercation didn't escalate too far, but it could have done very easily and very quickly. And there were police outside already arresting other people. So, and I will also confess that it all started because of me. So, we're going to talk about it, and then we're never going to talk about it again. All right? Instigator is very correct. I'm not an aggressive person. I am very much a majority of the time a pacifistic individual. But certain things, I also have an issue with a really bad justice complex. If I see something going wrong or not okay, I get involved every time. So, with that in mind, Jack, welcome on in. You are a gay, lesbian, male, female looking for friends. You are also a delightful piss flap of a human being who is probably about as entertaining as an ingrown pube. Given the fact that when I say there was an altercation, your first thing is an altercation with a child, which means you've got the personality of absolute drivel. poxy little piss flap. You're like the moisture on the scrotal wrinkles of an aging goat. But that's all right. You enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
Milky Bog, thank you very much for the gifted sub to Piss Flap Queen. That's an insult to drive. Sometimes. Unsurprisingly. I am like that, you know? I am like that. So on the Friday, I flew in to Portugal after having about an hour's sleep, and there is something deeply unnerving, friends. Deeply unnerving about being the first person through security. The first person directly through security. Alright? Mods, get rid of Jack. Honestly, I would rather cheese grate my own piss hole than have to deal with this syphilitic little gooch any longer. Thank you very much. Unsurprisingly, I am not in the mood. I am trying to speak to my wonderful, wonderful people. I'm not trying to finger blast my own piss hole for your entertainment. Perhaps you should go stick some clothes pegs on your scrotum and pretend to be a flying squirrel. Sure. Fucking hell. Thank you, mods. What was I doing? Piss Flap Queen. There we go. Piss Flap Queen. Yeah, it's really disconcerting when you get into an airport and you're the first person through security. And I went and I settled down and I was like, cool, I'm just gonna like chill out here. I've got myself a nice inflatable pillow. I'll lie down here and I'll just get some fucking sleep. It'll be all right. And then I'll sleep for, I don't know, 8 hours. Well, not 8 hours, 5 hours. I was expecting 5 hours. Oh, hello, that's really loud. I was expecting 5 hours. Oh, fucking hell, that's the reason why my audio profiles are all wrong. That's better. Excuse the audio, friends. My audio profiles were all over the fucking show. There we go, that's a little bit better. Thank you very much for waiting. So, let's do this bit first. Piss Flap Queen, your name is now Piss Flap Queen. Your name is now inscribed upon the mirror vein. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat. Of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes, but the most important thing is you'll roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough? But go down, do I make rough look good? Oh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow, you know? Okay, that's done. Thank you very much, Milky Pork, once again for gifting that sub to Piss Flap Queen. I appreciate that. But yeah, there's something really disconcerting when you go to sleep and you're the only person in the airport, apart from staff, you are the only person in the airport, okay? And when you wake up, you are surrounded by thousands of people. And it literally, I was asleep an hour. That was it, just an hour. And suddenly, thousands of people around me. It was fucking weird. And they got my flight. So I had no sleep. I had like an hour's sleep on Thursday night. That was that. Then I got up, got the flight, tried to sleep on the plane, but couldn't sleep on the plane. Got into, there was a bit of a delay on the plane there, which was fine because I had nothing to do in the rest of the day. I actually got, Frax. My dear friend Frax gave me a whole load of suggestions of things that I could do because I was getting into Portugal at like 9 a.m. And the rest of them were getting in at like 3 p.m. So I had like 6 hours to fill. So thank you very much. I don't know whether you're watching, Frax, but thank you very much, Frax, for giving me a whole load of suggestions of things that I could go see. I did find that there was a... There we go. Who that bitch? Heidi. Sounds like a prick. I know, right? What a douche. What an absolute douche canoe. God. Oh, God. There was a couple of places that you suggested that I didn't go because the queues were fucking massive. But I did find the Sex Museum of Portugal, which I didn't know was a fucking thing, but the sex museum in Porto, and that was really, really interesting. So I went around that. I visited the fancy train station. I went to a few churches. like really gorgeous buildings and what have you. And then I got a terrible fucking pizza, and I went to try and find out where we were staying, which was like an Airbnb right next to the riverfront, which was fucking gorgeous. The best man, my little brother's friend, has outdone himself. It was a sensational, very, very fun weekend. Apart from two things for me, because I also don't like football, and they were all really into football, so they wanted to watch the World Cup. Don't care. So yeah, that was that. And then I got there and was like quite delirious. And they were like, "Hey Val, how you doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's good to see you all. That's great and what have you. But I really need to go and get a shower." Oh, that's another thing about like early morning flights. The amount of people that looked at me really weird for going into the toilets and like cleaning my teeth in the morning. I was like, I've been asleep for an hour. I'm cleaning my teeth. Clean my teeth. The thing that most people do. Everyone was just like, wandering by, just very confused as to why somebody would be cleaning their teeth in a bathroom at 5 a.m. in the morning. And I was just like, are you for real? Like, do you not want to clean your teeth when it's this hour of the morning? What? So yeah, I did all those things, met up with them. The flat that we were staying in was great, really, really gorgeous place. And then Silver Haze, thank you very much, you beautiful being. Thank you very much. I kept up with all of my social medias and stuff like that. I've done a couple from Portugal that I filmed. I just need to get all the videos edited and shit like that. So they'll be going out on social medias in the next few days. But yeah, it's a whole thing. And then on Friday night, I thought because I was very intelligent and didn't look at the itinerary. So I thought that the Friday night was going to be like, we arrive, then we just chill out. Nice chill out day. And I was like, so it doesn't matter that I've had an hour's sleep, because I will get there and I will immediately have a fucking shower, because Jesus Christ, I felt vile having been in the same clothes for like 16 hours or what have you, and slept in those clothes. I didn't like it at all. Immediately got a shower. Was not a fan of that. I thought the first night would be a nice chill. Let's just settle in. Let's just settle in. And then tomorrow it'll all kick off, you know? I haven't managed to say hello to everybody, but hello everybody. I do appreciate you all being here. So my God, my brain is failing me and it's frustrating me. So that was not the plan, to nobody's surprise. The best man of the hour, he was like, I hope you're feeling up for a drink. How's it going, Max? How you doing? And I was like, I'm a little bit delirious because I've had an hour's sleep. And I've been wandering around. Over the course of the weekend, we worked out we did between 50 and 60,000 steps. And Porto is very hills and steps and stairs, and my fucking legs are killing me. Absolutely fucking killing me. But we continue. The first night was pub crawl. So we went to a variety of different pubs, some of which didn't serve vodka. That's when I discovered that a measurement of a shot of spirits in Portugal was 50ml, not 25ml like it is in the UK. And as a result, when I asked for a double vodka, the guy made a 50ml, kept pouring because it was like a cocktail bar. So he put the 50ml in, kept pouring it, so it was like maybe 75ml or what have you. Then poured the Coke in, and then the woman who had taken my order was like, oh no, he wants a double. And he was like, oh. Then took a shot glass, poured vodka into the shot glass, and had to remove ice from my drink so that they could put more vodka in my drink. And I was like, Okay, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's how I drink my vodka. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, you subscribed. Missed kind.
Another Prime month.
Another Prime month. A whole 19 months in place, Pachinko. Sounds like a hangover in a glass. That's how I have my vodka. I fucking love it. I thought it was great. I thought that was the best drink of the entire weekend. Was that vodka Coke, because that's exactly how I drink it. Simplex Pachinko, I'll inscribe your name upon the mirror vein. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little... Oh, my lordy. Silver Haze coming in as well with the Prime. Coming in with the 4 months. Thank you very much. I've inscribed your name upon the mirror vein as well, you cheeky devil. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes, but the most important thing is you'll roll over every morning, look in the mirror and go, God, do I look rough? But goddamn, do I make rough look good? Oh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow, you know? Ooh, cheeky.
Yeah, you subscribed. Missed kind.
I will not put that down then. Artemis Blackfire, we're coming in with the Prime as well. I've inscribed your name upon the mirror vein as well. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat, album Snapchat, of course, get access to the sexually most, but the most important thing is you'll roll up every morning, look in the mirror and go, God, do I look rough? But God damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy.
Yeah, you subscribed. Missed kind. Yeah, you subscribed. Missed kind.
Okay. You beautiful individuals. Coming in here. Starting hype trains. I would like you to all know, we don't get through all my stories with your antics. That's it. I'll never tell them again. They will be secrets lost into the past. Secrets lost to the myriad of history. Okay. Welcome on in, you beautiful individuals. 2 new people with the Primes. Welcome on. How you doing? Beglittered Geek. Hello, you. Oh, I've seen you before, but thank you very much for choosing to use your Prime here. And Kippin Kling. Kip Inkling, maybe. How do you pronounce your name, you beautiful being? Thank you very much for coming in with the Prime. I really appreciate that. I will describe those names on the mirror vein. It's not your... If you're new here, I don't despair at you being very kind and using your Prime here. I despair at the hype train. As an entirety. All right? Just the whole thing of a hype train. The whole dynamic. Train of secrets. If it gets lost, it gets lost. That's it. Yeah, you may never find out how I nearly got arrested. All right? And Max giving us up to that wonderful individual who I haven't seen say anything in chat yet.
Yeah, you subscribed. Missed kind.
Some of you don't want to hear the stories, apparently. Oh my god. Fucking eyeshadows fucked as well. Alright, fuck it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That wonderful individual from Max Wattage there. Again, I haven't seen them say anything in chat yet, so I don't want to call them out. Semba, how you doing? How's it going? And Poke. Those names have been described on the mirror vein. By having their names on the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devils. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you got to roll over every morning, look in the mirror and go, God, do I look rough? But God damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow, you know? Caro, you want to hear the stories? I will try and get through them. I'll try. Kip Inkling. No worries, no worries.
Panda to my ego. Panda to it. Panda to it.
Please take care of the Valen. Travel is hard.
Don't be encouraging the hype train with that, Wolvex. It's like, please take care, but also antagonizing the hype train. You know? JDS girl, welcome on. Thank you very much for the 5 little panderings there. Thank you all so much for this. This is very, very kind of you. I'm too tired to really comprehend what is even happening at the moment. But I genuinely really appreciate it. This is all very, very kind, all right? How did I manage with the heat? The heat over there was actually about the same as it is over here at the moment, but it was drier, so it's definitely more manageable. In the UK, it's a very, very humid heat in regards to just raw temperatures. But as I've said several times, it hits different in the UK. It hits different. Like the buildings over in Portugal are not like in the UK, buildings are specifically designed to keep heat in. Whereas in Portugal, they're not. Like they are built with the idea that it's going to get quite hot during the summer and what have you. Do you know what I mean? Did you get the chance to wear your shorts? I wore the shorts most of the weekend. Yeah, I wore my short shorts a lot of the weekend because it was so unbelievably hot. The heat as in the police. Yeah, I definitely. I didn't have an altercation with the police, but the police were arresting people directly after a situation that I was having an altercation with, which is interesting. But I will get to that eventually. So we tried doing this pub crawl, and we went to a few places, and I was like, right, I need to be on the vodka, and I was falling asleep. I can't begin to explain. It was like literally the first bar had a vodka, and I was like, oh my god, this is the thing. The second bar didn't sell vodka at all. It was like a craft beer place, and I was like, for fuck's sake, beer's gonna make me even more sleepy. Portuguese buildings are mainly done with stone and lime-based paints that reflect the heat. Also, the existence of shutters is great. Yes, yeah, there was a lot of shutters around for sure. So yeah, it was a much cooler environment overall, and every single one of the rooms that we were in like had fans and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? How's it going, Stupedia? How you doing? Stupedia, just please be aware that I'm in a very tired headspace, so let's not do any bad jokes. They are not landing well. They as opposed to the scenarios where I'm like, I'll tolerate them and it's quite entertaining the entire scenario. This, I'm like, I will straight up just not be okay. I'll just be pissed off. Appreciate that. Directed dad jokes now. There's a few people in the community, Grio. There's a few people that they really enjoy their dad jokes. They really enjoy their dad jokes, and that's all fine and dandy. They enjoy their dad jokes. They enjoy my despair at their dad jokes. And as a result, I'm just like, I want to give them the heads up beforehand. Otherwise, it'll hit and then it just won't land right. And I'll be like, well, I'm pissed off now. And nobody wants to like actively piss me off. Do you know what I mean? They do it because it's fun and it's like a fun thing to do together. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I like to give them a heads up so that they don't accidentally put their foot in it and feel shit about it afterwards. Make sure you have some carbs and electrolytes today. There's carbs in this, and I'm sure there's electrolytes in it as well. This is actually doing very, very well. Of like, it's been quite a tense day with just like the delays and the travel and stuff like that. So this is helping me settle down. Friends, if you've got hype train emotes, can you please throw them out? And I'll say a massive thank you to all those people that subbed, that gifted sub, that threw all those little bitties out there. That's very, very, very kind of you. I have drunk an unreasonable amount of alcohol this weekend. An unreasonable amount of alcohol this weekend. Like, it's been wild. But friends, I really appreciate everyone telling me to rest and telling me to look after myself and stuff like that. As always, I will do whatever I fucking want to do. Whatever I want to do. I will always. I appreciate people looking out for me, but I like you're telling me to rest is not going to make me rest. You're telling me to look after myself is probably not going to make me look after myself. I appreciate your concern. It's very, very welcome. However, you need to be aware of the fact that it is a losing battle most of the time. Most of the time. Okay? I will absolutely do whatever it is that I want to do. Sometimes that is self-care. Sometimes that is getting back after a really long weekend where I consumed my own body weight in pickling juice aka alcohol, and choose to stream. Choose to stream. Thank you very much, Nibroom, for pulling out the dad joke thing and sticking it in there. So yeah, I was like falling asleep, like literally falling asleep at the table, because the second bar, as I said, the second bar didn't have any vodka at all. So everyone else was drinking their drinks, which are usually quite tall drinks, because it was like liters of fucking lager and shit like that. And I was there with no drink, because I was like, I do not want a beer. It will make me fall asleep. I need a vodka. If I have anything other than vodka, I'm gonna struggle. I'm gonna really struggle. Then fortunately, the bar we went to after that was like a cocktail bar in a park, a place called Base, and that's where I had like the 5 shots of vodka in a glass, and I was just like, yes, this will do me nicely. And that gave me that fully gave me the second wind. We went to a few bars after that, and then we went to the poshest McDonald's that exists. Can I find it? Porto McDonald's. I don't get McDonald's very often, because there's not many things on there for delightful vegetarians like me. Porto McDonald's images. Somebody's knocked at my door at 11:15 in the evening. Give me 2 seconds, friends. A neighbor had one of Chunk's packages. So can I get a good there it is. Okay. Now I am appreciated. The first thing I want to say about the scenario is the fact that I am a cisgender white man. Okay? That's the first thing I'm going to say. We're leading with that. Okay? So there were certain things. Is that a better image of it? No, it's not a better image of it. So I was quite surprised at something in this McDonald's. Okay. Open image and YouTube. I can't even function. Okay, so here we have the poshest McDonald's you've ever done seen. Okay, this is what the McDonald's looks like. It is the Imperial McDonald's. Okay, and it is a fast food McDonald's. Okay, how's it going, Amy Sumitsu? Can I get a shout for Amy Sumitsu? Amy, oh fucking can't even speak. Amy Sumitsu, please. I would very much appreciate it. So, fancy dancy McDonald's. You go inside, it's got chandeliers. I'll show you the inside in a minute. People go check out Amy. This wonderful, wonderful bean. They're glorious and spectacular. I appreciate them lots. They make me very warm in my little soul. We're talking, I've just come back from Porto in Portugal, Amy. It's all marble flooring. Yeah. Oh, you've been to this one then, Frax? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you know what it is that I'm going to say about it? Out of interest. Because it's the choice. First of all, I want to say that this was evidently at some stage. There's the one with the mouths. No, not really. It's been like 8 or 9 years. Okay, so as I said, I'm a cisgender white man. We as a party, me and the other stags in the party, were like, we are all cisgender white men apart from one person who is a black man. we went into this McDonald's and we were immediately like, oh wow, so this at some stage was a vintage building for something else that then McDonald's have bought out, and McDonald's have kept a lot of the original architecture. They've kept a lot of like the chandeliers, the marble flooring, like they've kept a lot in regards to this fancy building, okay? But one of the things they did keep was this. So you can see the chandelier up here. This is just a stock footage chandelier up here, and then the stained glass. Now, this stained glass, this picture makes the stained glass look a lot brighter than it actually is. Okay? When you actually see it in person, it's a bit darker. The tones are a bit richer. Okay? Over here, we have a delightful white man and woman having a nice cup of tea in the veranda. Over here, we have a lot of black people working the docks and picking corn. Yep. Yep. I spotted that immediately. As we walked in, I spotted that immediately. And because I am a cisgender white man, and I am very well aware of the fact that that comes with a lot of privilege, I immediately turned around to our black friend and went, is that racist? Like, it looks it to me, but is that racist? And he just was like, oh no, they didn't know. And I was like, okay, no, that reaction justifies. Sometimes when you are born with a lot of privilege like I am, sometimes I see things that aren't there, and or see, like, make connections with things that aren't there. Sometimes I don't see anything at all because, again, privilege blinds us, you know. But it's history, so yeah, so that shocked me. Ah, yes, that was surprising, to say the least. That was surprising, I have to say. I was unexpected, and bearing in mind that it was already like 1:30 in the morning. I had an hour's sleep in 48 hours at that point. So I was a little bit delirious. I was just like, oh, okay, no, that is what I thought it was. All right. How old is the mural? The entire thing looked very like Art Deco, so I'm gonna say like early 1900s, either late 1800s or early 1900s. Just purely based on the stylization of like the other stuff that was in there. It used to be the Imperial Cafe from a time when that was a thing. Seems silly to keep it up though. It just, like, if they'd have got I don't know, we didn't really explore the McDonald's. I don't know whether there was like a plaque somewhere that kind of gave it a bit of context, you know, like museums do and stuff like that, where it's like, okay, this is from here. We recognize the fact that it is laced with racism. However, we have kept it up because it is an ode to the work that these people went through, these things, you know, but putting a bit of historical context behind it, you know? You know? It might, yeah, exactly. It might well have been like the equivalent of a listed building, so they weren't able to take it down, potentially. Definitely. Could still cover it. I don't know. There might be things. It's from the 1930s, the original building. Ah, okay. Do you know what, Frax? I will say that I fucking loved. There's something about Porto which is genuinely fucking beautiful, and that is the fact that none of the buildings are the same. Buildings that are literally built side by side have got completely different layouts and structures and what have you, and it is exquisite to see. None of this copy-paste bullshit that we have in the UK. In the UK, we have very, like, uniform houses. Every house on a street will be exactly the same layout, that kind of thing. But every single building in the entirety of Porto seemed like it was super fucking unique. I can say it's from the 30s, illustrating the process of enjoyment of coffee. Oh, that would make sense. But like picking the coffee beans, shipping them over and then white people enjoying the coffee. Yeah, okay. There is historical context there. That makes sense. In which case, yeah, fair. That's fair. It just when you just look in and you're just like, I'm looking at a stained glass where black people are working the fields and white people are having tea on the lawn. Without that very specific context, Robinson Crusoe, this looks really sketchy. This sketch is what it is. Fucking sketchy. How's it going, Super Mick? Welcome on in. We have that in the US too. Everything is copy pasted in. So yeah. I never really thought about it being like in regards to like architecture and stuff. I never really considered it. But when I was out in Porto, seeing so many different like styles of building and stuff was just fascinating. It gave the place like so much character. What did you get at Mackey's? Just chips. I got shitloads of chips. I got like 2 of the large fries because I was just like, yeah, there we go. Porto and Lisbon are very much like that hodgepodge of buildings, materials, colors and shapes, but we also have the privilege of not getting bombed during the wars. Fair. No, absolutely, Frax. That makes sense. That would also explain why there's so many amazing historical buildings there, for sure. God, should I send you the royal images? No, I'm not going down that route. Do you know what though, Semba? I did actually, like, after this conversation, when I was on the stag do with the people, I was like, have you seen the royal Dutch carriage? And the royal chariot of the Dutch king, that's it. I was like, have you seen the royal Dutch carriage? And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, hold on. Hold on. I've been told all about this from my moderator, Semba. My darling friend, Semba. So, friends, by the way, my hard drive, my new hard drive arrived literally like 15 minutes before I had to leave on Thursday. So thank you very much. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I will find out how to install it into my computer at some stage. I'll probably wait for the other thing that's going to arrive and stuff. But anyway, I'm never going to get around to doing all this stuff. I'm still on the first day. More work for me. Is it just a plug and play? Can I just plug and play it? I shouldn't plug and play it. I should work out how to do it properly. Val. Jesus Christ. Lisbon is gorgeous and has an awesome goth club if it's still running. Not been there in a decade. I'd honestly adored my time there. Yeah, I mean, Porto was excellent. And the vast majority of people that we met there were phenomenal. I have had an amazing weekend. Genuinely, I've had a fucking amazing weekend. Normal people, it's plug and play or plug and pray for you. I don't know how many pantheons we will need. That's fair. That is fair. Also made the point to Sway recently that food in the UK had a very large reset due to the wars. An entire generation survived on rations and kept it going, making it the new default cuisine only recently redeveloped. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Absolutely. How showing off my hard drive like that? I know. TOS. It's against TOS. I showed everyone my hard drive. Oh god, gonna get banned. Anyway, that was the Friday night. Saturday, we woke up. I think we got back at about 2 a.m. Had some beers in the flat together. Yeah, because I had a beer and I was like half asleep as I was drinking the beer. So we got to bed at about 3. And then I woke up at 8. And was like, okay. I've had 6 hours sleep in 3 days now. And counting. We got up, they all went out for breakfast and I went and joined them. There's this beautiful little cafe called Tulipa that they did like it was like a cheesy omelette bagel. So it was like a cheese omelette inside a bagel. And I'm salivating just thinking about it. It was sensational. That and a nice like fresh cup of black tea. Oh, fucking sensational. They had like a little teapot, which I loved, and then they had like a mug, but without a handle. It was like a teacup without a handle, so you had to sort of like pick it up and drink it like the way that the Japanese do. I love that. I really enjoyed that as well. That was you can see that my highlights come down to tea, don't they? They come down to tea. No worries, JJS. You go sleep. It is very, very late. It's very, very late. If people need to go, please go do so. The VOD will be available if people are interested in seeing more. But I'm super aware of the fact that it's very, very late. So no coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't like coffee. Not to sound overly English, but was the tea that good? The tea was weirdly, the tea brand was Tetley's, but it wasn't like a normal bag of Tetley's. I don't like Tetley's. It was in like a weird blue bag. Like the actual tea bag came in like a sachet thing, and the sachet thing was blue. And I don't know whether it was just like that specific blend works really, really well with the water in Porto. But that specific, or maybe it was just because I had not had a cup of tea in like 3 days, and I just really needed a cup of tea. But it tasted great. It was really good tea. Really, really good tea. Oh, panic driven about what? Hold on, what? Oh, definitely need your help rebuilding the PC. Oh yeah, speak to, if Sembar's offering to help, Sembar is a wizard with that shit. Sway. I'm happy to like do the constructing bit if Sembar wants to advise on the other bits. Yeah, if that's what it's, yeah. You talk about stuff, but do you know what I mean? Did you get cow juice over there? No, I have my tea completely black. So I like it black like my eyeshadow. Although my eyeshadow is very pasty and horrible at the moment. It's because I just slapped everything on very, very quickly. My fucking skin is disgusting at the moment, friends. My skin is absolutely fucking vile because I have had layers of fucking sun lotion on to protect myself from the burning hot Portuguese sun, which is obviously very different from the burning hot UK sun. 2 different stars, I've heard. Anyway, but like my skin doesn't do well with sun lotion anyway, but having had like layer and then having to reapply because we're outside and stuff like that, and it just clogs my pores like nobody's business. So yeah, so I've just slapped on normally you can literally see the difference between like my normal skin tone and my sun-kissed skin tone, you know. That sounds like I need a good pamper. I fucking do, little key. I do. I'm not going to get one anytime soon, but I do. That is true. So yeah, we got up, we went for breakfast. Then we went and did some sightseeing stuff, bits and pieces, went around Porto, went to see some of the stuff that I'd already seen. Then we went back. What did we do then? Where is the itinerary? I feel like my alcohol and sleep deprived brain is this it? Sure. He's not getting anything. Okay, yeah. Oh right, that was it. Oh, I thought that was all on Sunday. So we did all of that. We went around the city and we had a look at a whole load of different bits and pieces. Then we did a port cellar tour at Taylor's Porto, which is like a specific, very, very good port brand. The first port I ever had was a Taylor's bottle of port. Port is like a fortified red wine. So it's red wine that in the fermentation process, it's got, I think it's like grape spirits put into it to stop the fermentation process at a certain stage. That probably becomes fortified wine. But that was fascinating. That was absolutely fascinating. But it was very special for me as well, because my first drink of port was on my 21st birthday. Because when I was born, my grandfather, my mother's father, bought a bottle of port and said, "This is for Valen. It's not to be opened till he's 21." And it was already like 15 years old at that point. So my first ever taste of port, because when I found out about that, I was like, I'm not going to drink port until that bottle. Specifically until that bottle. So my first glass of port was 36-year-old Taylor's port, which was just your first ever taste of port ruined 80% of port for you. Pretty much, yeah. The rest isn't as good. It's just not as good. But yeah. Right, do you know what? While the ads are on, I'm gonna say hello to people. Oh my lordy, I'll go from the bottom up, and that way I can actually say it. Wolfex, how you doing, little key, you cheeky little devil? Loki the Khajiit, hello you beautiful being. Sembar, how's it going? Penel, how you doing, you cheeky devil? Hello from the hot Toronto, going up to 37 degrees tomorrow. Ooh, that feels disgusting to me. That is disgusting to me. Love a glass of port. It is yummy. One of my favorite decadent things. I fucking love port. Max Watch. I'm a big fan of port. And we had, I won't continue the story till the adverts are over. But yeah, Taylor's very nice. Yeah, it was very, very good. Little K, how you doing? Giles, how you doing? How's it going? Qualia, you wonderful being. Caro, you wonderful human being. How's it going? How you doing? Wolfex, Onion Pencil, Sembar, of course. Authenticator, hello, you cheeky devil. I'll show everyone advice. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to keep trying to read things because there's too much stuff going on. But I appreciate you all being here. Lunicorn, how you doing? How's it going? Andrew Nico, you cheeky devil. My massive collection of dildos, Kayla. Yeah, absolutely. Rusted Reverie, welcome on in. How you doing? How's it going? Robinson Crusoe, of course. The tea in Portugal, Europe is very different from Britain. Black leaf is not normal as far as I'm aware. Yeah, it isn't at all, Sway. Because I went to a couple of places and was like, can I have black tea? And they were like, we only have mint and chocolate black tea. And I'm like, no, I just want black tea. Just tea by itself, nothing else, just tea, you know. Pelly Fitzberg, how you doing? Be in the US at the end of the workday. 1 more hour today. Oh, enjoy it. For sure. I don't like coffee. Yeah, I drank 9 cups of coffee when I was doing my dissertation for university. And that has put me off coffee because I didn't like the taste of coffee anyway. But that put me off coffee like completely. Thank you very much, Sembar, for confirming that. The amount of ads. Yeah, exactly that. Frax, how you doing? How's it going? JJS, of course. Eris, hello, you beautiful bean. I'm just waiting for these adverts.
Subscribed.
Sparky Crows.
20 months. 20.
Indeed.
Wow, I must love you so much, mate. Also love all of chat.
Much love, Sparky. Much love. Up. What did you miss? You didn't miss anything. We paused the story. It's over 9,000. I know, right? I know. Sparky Crows, your name is now described upon the mirror event. By having your name upon the mirror event, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you'll roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough? But goddamn, to make rough look good. Ooh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow, you know? You cheeky devil. Okay, so now the adverts are over, we can get back at it. So we went to Taylor's and Ports, and like I said, it has a very special place for me because the first port I ever had was 36-year-old Taylor's port. It was fucking gorgeous. And then at the end of the tour, so we went round it, it gave you the history of port, like the reason why port became especially such a big thing in the UK, because during the time, the King of England had banned wine from France. And therefore, all of the merchants of the era were desperately trying to find somewhere else that did something like wine, because the British public fucking loved wine, but the king hated France. So that's kind of like where the port thing began. That was all very, very, very fascinating. We got taken around like 500 barrels of port that were all aging as time went on, and it, like, learned how the fermentation process worked. That was fascinating. Really, really, really interesting. And then at the very end of it, we got to taste some port. So there was a white wine port, what were they called? I can't remember. There was like a red wine port that was like 2 or 3 years old, and then a red wine port that was like 10 years old. And the 10-year one was so fucking good. There was actually a bottle of port. The most expensive bottle of port we could see on sale in the shop was $4.5 grand. And at that moment in time, it's probably one of the very few times that I have genuinely wished that I had Tawny. Yes, thank you very much. So they had like a summery fruits one, and then they had a 10-year-old Tawny. Thank you very much, Druidus the Minion. That's the one. Can you swim with dolphins in Portugal? I wouldn't swim with dolphins anyway, because they are sex pests. They are sex pests. So yeah, people make out like swimming with dolphins is like one of the greatest things ever, and I'm sure it is sometimes. However, they are brutal fuckers. They are brutal fuckers. Many people have died for swimming with dolphins because they are friendly if they want to be. You got to remember, they're just as intelligent as human beings, and they're also the only other species that commit oral sex. And when I say that, I mean they fuck each other's blowholes. From a screen of Robocop, your house is filled with joy. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Abby Stabby. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Anyway, what was I saying? I'm not dismissive of you, Abby Stabby. I'm just very tired, and I'm trying to talk about all the things that we did in Portugal. For those people that don't know, for those people who just joined us, I have literally just got back. Like 15 minutes before I started stream was when I walked through the door from my flight home from Portugal, which was already 90 minutes delayed. It was a whole fucking thing. Portugal, it was great. Like overall, it was very, very good. So we went to the port tasting. Then we went for some food. I've got the agenda here to remind myself. Yeah. Then we went for some food. So amongst the stag do's, there was a whole thing of like certain actions had forfeits. So if we lost the stag, then we had to like take a shot or something like that. If somebody went home before the stag, they had to do 2 fingers of their next drink. And when you say 2 fingers, it's like 2 fingers worth in volume, as it were. So the wider the glass, the more fucked you are. Valen is just a little tired and emotional, and he needs a nap. Yeah. Hope the flight itself was bearable. No, it was fucking awful, because it was a Ryanair flight, Abby Stabby, and as a result, they made us sit on the plane for the 90 minutes. They made us sit on the plane for the 90-minute delay. They would not let any of us off. And it was just like, well, now I'm in a very uncomfortable seat for a very long period of time. I am not happy. Not happy at all. Staff were very, very nice, but, you know, yeah, you could pee. You could still use the toilets and stuff. But yeah, it was a whole experience. So yeah, we went for the port tour. We'll grab some food. And then, because I was there with lads, they wanted to watch the football game. So the England match. They played England versus Norway, which was in like a big market area. They had like a big screen, and there was a big market area. And they bless their little cotton socks. They were desperately trying to get me into football. Desperately. My little brother knew genre. He knew. He was like, yeah, Val's not into football. They don't even try. Don't even try. But the others were like, yeah. So this is what's happening here. And I remember it getting to the end, and one of the guys just looked at me dead in the eyes, and I was like, yeah, okay, 90 minutes, we're good. We're good. We can just crack on. And he was like, no. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, there's extra time. And I went, I can see the extra time. It's like 2 minutes. And he was like, no, that's added time. And I was like, what's the difference between extra time and added time? And he was like, there's another half an hour now, 15 minutes each way. And I was like, what the fuck? And of course, they've changed football to be more appealing to an American audience. Instead of it being like, okay, you play the first half time, you have a break, play the second half. They played the first quarter, had a hydration break, aka Americans needed to put on more adverts. Not just the American public, I'm talking about the money grabbing corporation bastards, because that's the reason why American football has so many stops and starts, is because they need to put more adverts in there. Don't be conned by thinking that's just the way the game is. It's not. So they had hydration breaks, which meant the whole thing lasted even fucking longer. And I was like, what do you mean I've got to watch another half an hour of this shit? At that point, I wasn't drinking the vodka, because the only vodka they had was Kettle One, and it was costing me 15 euros for a single shot. And 2, I was cold, because I've been sat down. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But of course, then England went on and won. And everyone loved it. They not appealing to the audience. Hydration breaks for fucking advertising. Never mind, you got it. Yeah, it was, that absolutely. I was appealing to the American audience of they used to advertising. No, they're not. Oh, God. Can confirm it's the adverts. It's all about the adverts. Yeah, absolutely. Winsy Blue, welcome on in. How you doing? LPS, how you beautiful bean? But early glorious steak bakes and Battenberg cakes. Oh, what a wonderful entrance. That was a great entrance. Welcome on in. How you doing? How's it going? So yeah, they watched the football. I was upsettingly sober and cold by that point. But everyone was cheering and everyone had a really wonderful time, and they desperately tried to get me involved. But every single time that somebody starts singing, they're coming home, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. All right, just whatever. At that point, I was like, I want to go somewhere. Unfortunately, my little brother's very much like me. My little brother's very, very much like me in the regards that he's like, cool, have had a good time so far. I want to go get pissed and dance. So it was like, cool, let's go to the strips. Let's go to, not the strip club, but like the strip, to find a bar and a place that we can go in and dance. Which was great. Went to this long line of bars, and people were bouncing around the bars. It was like a bar crawl in one street. And then it was like every other one was really, really busy, because apparently the bar crawls go from one bar to the opposite bar, and then they bounce, and then they do another street, and then they come back and do every bar they didn't do, because they miss out every other one or something like that, which I thought was fascinating concept. Anyway, we had a drink, we had a good laugh, we saw some very interesting people in some very interesting outfits. Of course, there was shitloads of people that were very celebratory of the football, and we went into one of the nightclubs.
You followed me. Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you so much for the follow, you beautiful, and I really appreciate it. Now, I'm going to warn you people now. This is where the altercation happened. For those people that don't know, I mentioned at the very beginning of stream that there was a point in the weekend where I very nearly got arrested. I didn't. No criminal record for me, but it could have gone very differently. So we get in. We get into this place, go straight to the bar, get a couple of drinks. Drink. Fucking sweet. The DJ is putting banger after banger. And when I say banger after banger, they are the weirdest mix of shit that you've ever fucking heard. It was like dubstep, and then Spice Girls, and then Aqua, and then some 70s fucking song, and then some hard house, and I was just like, what is going on? It was terribly mixed, but every song was great in and of its own right, but it just didn't mesh. Do you know what I mean? It just didn't mesh at all. So we were just partying, we were having a dance, having a drink, all shits and giggles and what have you. And then Out the corner of my eye, I see a very young man. Like, I would have said he was like 17 or 18, 19 at max, okay? And he is with an older lady, like somebody who was like my age or maybe even a little bit older than me, okay? So she wasn't old by any stretch of the imagination, but he was a very, very young man with a much older lady than him, you know? And I clocked it and was like, oh, okay. Now, I'm not one to judge. You know what I mean? So long as everyone's over the age of 18 and consenting, I'm good. I don't judge by any stretch of imagination. It's not my cup of tea personally, but if that's what works for you, that's grand. And I was like, oh, is that... it's a site that I wasn't expecting. So I was like, cool, is this lady out on the pull and she's found like a young local man or what have you? But as time went on, I noticed that he kept like trying to go in for the kiss, and she kept going, being like, oh, okay, and looking more and more uncomfortable. And anybody who's been around for long enough here knows that I have an extremely potent justice complex. So, I get involved. I step in. I speak to the lady and just say, hey, are you okay? That's all it is. Because for all I know, she could be like, yeah, absolutely. Or she's about to fend him off himself. I don't want to fucking take away woman's power. Do you know what I mean? If that's what they want, that's fine. That's all right. I just wanted to check in, just be like, hey, are you okay? And she just looks me dead in the eyes and goes, no, not really. And I go, cool, not a problem. Grab her hand, pull her out of the way of this guy, and then stand there in front of him. Done. This guy disappears off. He just looks at me and he's like, and then disappears off. We carry on dancing. That woman and the person that she was with come and join us. We have a good time, all shits and giggles, fun and games, boogie woogie woogie woogie. More drinks, more dancing. Other people come and join us, random people come and join us. It's just like shits and giggles, all fucking sweet. And then two young ladies appear. And when I say young, again, they look like 16, 17. To me, that was like, you look like children. Do you know what I mean? Evidently, they're old enough to get in. I don't know what the drinking laws are in Portugal, but they're old enough to get in. And they were there. There were two very young ladies, and they were just having a dance together. You know what I mean? I was like, fucking sweet. They're having a great time. Dancey, 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 dancey. That guy comes back. And now he's got a friend. And the two gravitate towards these two young ladies, and the two young ladies are a good foot smaller than them, and I am like, I go full meerkat, where I'm just like, and the lady that we like rescued the first time, I say we, the lady I pulled away in that moment, like she immediately fucking saw me and just went, oh, okay. Now, again, I don't wish to ever jump to assumptions, because I have jumped to assumptions before and it has bitten me on the ass, okay? So these two guys come over and start dancing with these two girls. Then they go in for the kiss, and they both kiss these two girls. And I'm like, okay, don't like their attitude, don't like the way that they are behaving, but if the girls are okay with it, if that's where their level is, I'm cool. I'm not comfortable with it, but if they're okay with it, they need to make their own decisions. Do you know what I mean? So I keep dancing, and I'm just like, I'm just going to keep an eye. I'm just going to keep an eye. Dancing, dancing, dancing. Then they stop kissing, and the girls immediately turn their backs to the guys and start having a conversation together. And one of them, the one that I can see the face of, looks nervous as shit. She's got this guy's hands all around her while he's trying to kiss the back of her head and shit. And she just looks real nervous. So me, being me, go over. And I'm just like, excuse me. I don't even fucking look at these men, all right? I go straight in for the one that looks nervous. I go, excuse me, are you okay? And she doesn't speak much English, but she just goes, I think I need water. And I go, cool, and grab her hand and pull her away. And immediately turn to her, like pull her off to like guide her to the bar, you know what I mean? Immediately turn to her friend and say, are you okay? And she goes, where's my friend gone? And I go, cool, and take her away. Immediately then stand up, and these two guys are like here. And I'm like, all right. And they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I was like, you were making them uncomfortable. They didn't speak much English, so we immediately had a language barrier there and what have you. So he's going, problem? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. 100%. And my little brother's like, no problem. Just stay away from them. No problem. Just don't be near us. You know? By this point, funny you say that, mini partner. By this point, one of our friends who is a bodybuilder, like a professional, does the shows bodybuilder, has gone out to try and find our other friends who are going out for a vape. And he came back and he was around the back of them. Now, I saw about 4 guys. I saw 4 guys that were there, and I didn't care. I don't give a shit. At that point, I am committing to being stabbed. I just don't give a shit. It doesn't even enter my brain. I'm just like, no, these people need help. Fucking done. End of story. That's all I need. But these two guys back off, and they're just fucking dead eyeing me, staring at me, and I'm just like, what? What are you gonna do? You know? So I then but they back off, and I turn around and speak to the young ladies, and I was like, are you two okay? And they were like, thank you for helping us. And I was like, that's all right. That's not a problem. I was like, if you would like to join us, you are welcome to do so. I won't let anything happen to you. I won't let anything happen to you. That's just not, I'm not about that, you know? So they came and joined us. We had a bit of a dance. I think they stood at the bar for a minute, just kind of settling their nerves, which is entirely fair. And then they had a bit of a dance and what have you. And then a couple of our guys had disappeared. Oh, forgot about that. So as those two guys apparently walked out, this was a bit that I wasn't aware of at the time. As those two guys walked out, they walked by the bodybuilder guy, and one of them turned to the others and went, go and get the others. And apparently, not that I saw this, because I was like, oh, there's 4 guys, fuck it, whatever. Apparently there was about 20 of them that were all around the place, that all just knew each other, and they were off on their own little dirty, predatory ways of doing things. And I was like, okay. Like, when I heard about this, I was like, okay, well, it's 20 versus 8. Let's do it. Let's go. I am there. Do you know what the weird thing is as well? So after that altercation happened, which evidently was like the place, the actual like place was that area of the club was no bigger than this studio space. So it was a very, very small space. So evidently me causing a bit of a scene, a lot of people stopped, and they were like, oh, is this gonna kick off? What's going on? Is this gonna kick off? Because it looks like it's gonna kick off. It was definitely very much, you know when guys sort of like square up to each other and they get their faces right up in there. Problem. And I was just like, yeah. I'm not afraid of you. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. Whatever. And then they back off. One of the locals, somebody who was a local there, grabbed me, and I don't know what they look like. I was in the process of doing other things, but they grabbed me and they went, hey, thank you. And I was like, okay. And there was a very mask sounding voice, and they were like, hey, thank you. And I was like, okay. And because for me, I appreciate that people like to thank in those scenarios. Or I don't do that for the thanks. I just do it because it's just the fucking right thing to do. Do you know what I mean? So they were like, hey, thank you. And I was like, no, it's all right. It's not a problem. And they were like, no. Those guys are well known around here. They are known molesters. And I was like, why are they allowed in then? Why are they allowed? If that is what they are known for, why are they ever allowed in anywhere? Now, I did hear one of the guys say that he saw one of my party say he saw one of them being friendly with the bouncer. And I was like, oh, is it a scenario of they're best buddies and therefore permission, like not permissions, but like, you know, things are let slide? Anyway, and then the bar guy, like called me over and he was like, are you okay? What happened there? And I was like, he was forcing himself on women. He was like forcing women to kiss him. And he was like, okay, I'll go have a word with the bouncer. And evidently that didn't fucking, like, nothing changed. Do you know what I mean? It didn't change. The guy behind the bar seemed like a pretty legendary guy, but you know, if you didn't mind for me, I'd be like, dude, phone number. I mean, I don't, yeah, it's not, I would have refused in that scenario, little kitty, because I don't do it to be the macho man. I don't do it to be some kind of fucking hero or anything. I do it just because it's the fucking right thing to do. Do you know what I mean? It's a straight up, this is the right fucking thing to do. Stop fucking predating on people.
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
Evil Marksman, thank you very much for the Prime. I'll be with you momentarily. I want to finish this story while it's in my brain, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. It might well be the only bar they could get in for sure. So that happened, and then we found out that two of our party had gone on to another club, and we were like, cool, we're going to go join them. So I then turned to all of the people that were then in our group. Our group had magnified by this point to quite a lot of people. Because I literally was like going from, okay, I'm standing my ground, immediately to, yeah, woo, dancey, let's have a good time, you know? So I think people were just like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on with these English guys? What is happening here? So yeah, we were all dancing, having a good time. And then I was like, look, if you want to come with us, you're welcome to do so. I don't want to leave you here, but your thing is, and a few of them decided to stay, and the two young ladies decided to come with us. And as we walked out, because I was leading the way, because Captain Ego, the guy who made the fucking scene from the fucking beginning, they were like, we'll follow you. And I was like, not a problem. So I walked out and I was just like, all right, okay, that's cool. Captain Ego, no one's gonna fuck with me. As we walked by those guys, there was like me and then the two young ladies, and as I walked by, they did try to step in, and I immediately like, no, fuck off, not a chance. And then the young ladies were like pushing me forward, being like, no. What did they said, no, you go first, you're the king. And I was like, they're behind me. Now, after that, I got outside. These two young ladies were there. And I said to them, I was like, look, now we're outside. If you want to go to some of the other clubs, that's cool. That's not a problem. Like, you don't have to stay with us if you don't want to, but if you'd like to, then you're welcome to, you know? And they were like, oh no, we'll stay with you. And I was like, not a problem, not an issue at all. Because again, like from my perspective, I was like, these are kids. They are, if they are 18, which I didn't think that they were like barely 18. They like only just turned 18. So I was like, I feel very protective, you know, but I'm also like, I am also a 38-year-old man, and if you want to hang around with me, like, I will look after you, but I don't want you getting a reputation for hanging around with older guys, or me getting a reputation for being like hanging around with young women. Do you know what I mean? Like, Let's be clear where we're standing here. Do you know what I mean? We babblers, yeah, they were very, very, very young. Not to hook up, you'd be a really useful friend. Yeah, I'll be there. Let's do it. Do you know what I mean? It's cute that younger ladies gave me a nickname. Fucking hell. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, it was wild. But in the time, and I have never been more proud in my entire fucking life of my little brother. Never been more proud in my entire life of my little brother. Okay? Because my little brother has a heart of fucking gold. Absolutely. His heart's in the right place, and he will stand up when it's fucking necessary to do so. He will always do that. Now, he doesn't have my haphazard recklessness where, like, I see something like that happening and I immediately go, I don't give a fuck about the consequences. I am stepping the fuck in immediately. Whereas he, and this isn't his own fault, this is just the way his brain works, he immediately goes, what are all of the scenario? How bad could this go? How wrong could this go before I step in? For everyone involved, not just for him. He's very open-minded like that. So the fact that he did this is fucking great. So we walk out, I walk out, the two young ladies follow me out and what have you. Then there's my little brother, one of the other guys, and then the bodybuilder bloke that I was talking about. As we walk by, the younger looking of the gentleman, I say gentleman, the younger looking of the twats that we had an altercation with was apparently squaring off a little bit. And my little brother went to kiss him. My little brother just went, like leaned in for a kiss, treating them exactly the way that they treated these other women. And I was so angry that I wasn't there. I was so angry that I missed this. And apparently, basically what happened then was the bodybuilder, like literally just grabbed my little brother and our mate and just pushed us all forwards. And I'm like, no, don't you do this. However, it did seem to diffuse some of the tension because as much as that guy kicked off because he's a little pissanty little bitch, the other friend who was like really squaring up to me, I think basically what had happened, now I think about it, what had effectively happened was when I took the woman that was like my age away from the 17-year-old looking boy, he was like, what the fuck is this? And then went and got his mates. And he was like, there's a guy back there there's not allowing me to be predatory. Oh, this guy back there, he's got long hair and he's got loads of necklaces on. He's not letting me be predatory. So then he came back with friends to see whether they get away with it. But as I just described, I don't give a fuck about numbers. I will absolutely just step the fuck in. I'm like, this isn't okay. I'll deal with the consequences later. So that happened. We all got outside. And as we were outside, there was literally us, like the bar, us, police car, about 30 police officers already arresting a handful of people for fighting. So when I say I was nearly arrested, we were this close to fighting and the police were literally outside the door. Literally outside the door. Like if I genuinely think if I'd seen them, if I'd have seen any of them be like that with any other women that night, that would have been a fight. That would have been like that 3 strikes you're out. Do you know what I mean? It would have been a fight. I would never throw the first punch. I am not that kind of person, but just because of the way that they were behaving, they would have been like, this guy's fucking cock blocking us. And I'm like, no, I'm fucking stopping you from being deviants. No, deviant's too nice a term. I'm stopping you from being rapist. That's why I'm stopping. And I'm not fucking okay with it. But yeah, I genuinely think it would have been like one more occurrence, it would have kicked off. And it would have kicked off big time. Because all of them would have got involved, and then our lot would have got involved, and then potentially some of the locals would have got involved, because a lot of the locals seem to really like us for potentially obvious reasons, you know? That's why I prefer games going out. I mean, that's fair, LPS. If that's what you prefer, I love a dance. I love a drink. I love a dance. I love to go out and have a really, really fucking good time. It's men. Men ruin it. Not always men, but it is like 99.9% men. Do you know what I mean? They just become, and I say that as a man. I say that as a cisgender man. It's like, why? Why are men? Why do you have to be like this? Especially because, like, one of the things that got me was the fact that there was, like, literally nothing in common between the first lady that was my age that I saw this young man with and the second lady that he was fucking forcing a kiss on. There was a good period of years, without being rude to anybody there was a good period of years between the two of them. You know? They also had nothing in common in regards to dress sense. They had nothing in common. So I'm like, okay, so this isn't about type. This is purely about, do you have a vagina? Cool. I want to be in it. And I don't care about you. I don't care about anything else about this scenario. Do you know what I mean? And I will say, like, after that scenario, like, there was me and our group of friends, and we went round to a club. And it was like €10 to get into the club. And the two young ladies were with us. And I was like, okay, we're going into this club. If you want to come with us, you're welcome to do so. But it is like €10 in, you know? And they were like, oh, okay. I think we're going to go in this club instead. And I was like, yeah, not a problem. Please stay safe. That's fantastic. You know? And they looked, I think they looked a little bit surprised because I think that they were expecting that I would try and push something because that seems to be what a lot of them are used to around that. And I'm like, no, I just want you to be safe. Like, there's no ulterior motives here. I just want you to be safe. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing. Just that's it. Your safety is my reward. That's it. Done. You know. So yeah. So that happened. And then we had the long walk home, which was highly entertaining for that time in the morning, to say the least. I think we got back at about 4 a.m. Something like that. 4 a.m. There or thereabouts. Evil Max might be 2 seconds. Let me just saw Frack say something. So I got to bump into the Porto version of the chavs. It was interesting, Frax, and I think it might just be that kind of area because I spoke to a few of the locals and they were like, yeah, like I said, we know those guys, they are molesters. But then I've also spoken to a few other people that have been to Porto for holidays. And they were like, yeah, men are just like that around there. Now, we went, did a lot of drinking and a lot of dancing and what have you. And I will say, 99% of the men were fucking fine. There was no issues at all. They might have been a bit forward, but not like predatory forward. Just sort of like, hey, okay, no, cool, that's all right. And then move on, you know? But you get guys like that everywhere. You do get guys like that everywhere. I think that the issue, or one of the biggest issues there was the fact that we didn't, like, there was definitely a language barrier there. And because of the fact that I couldn't just be like, you're making them uncomfortable, fuck off. All I could do was say yes when the guy said problem. And I was like, yeah, absolutely, there's a problem. 100%. You know, hard to use my beautiful vernacular of vocabulary and get them to understand when they don't speak the same language. Do you know what I mean? More like those guys are friends with the bouncers/owners. More common in certain areas of the country, unfortunately. Do you have a memory of vaguely where this was in Porto? Let me have a look. I would probably be better looking at maps. Where's the bridge? Let's do this. So this is Porto. We stayed in like a place down here somewhere. And then a lot of the activities we did were like over the bridge. Do you know what? Where is Football Market Porto? Timeout Market. So that's where we were. So it was like one of these bars down here. One of these bars down here. A reason why people can't do much about them or seem complacent could also be a part because they've arrived in a large group, like 20, like you said, and thus no bounce or individual group can do anything about it, relying on the cops to eventually catch them doing something actually illegal, which is most likely what you saw on the way out. Maybe. 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 Yeah. That also could explain, Frax, why they were quite so surprised when I did step in. That could explain why they were surprised when I stepped in and just went, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, around that area. Because we only walked from a little way from the market. To the strip, as it were. Thank you for being you. Honestly, I don't know how else to be. Dragmine Nightlight, how you doing? How's it going? Played like in the whole stream? Oh, no, that's all right. That's okay. You do your thing. HH, how you doing? How's it going? Right, let me do Evil Marksman's Prime, otherwise I will completely forget. Whoop. Whoop. Boop. There we go. Evil Marksman, your name is now inscribed upon the mirror vein. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes, but the most important thing is you'll roll over every morning, look in the mirror and go, God, do I look rough? But god damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy, oh yes, meow, you know? But yeah, then we got back like 4 a.m. I wasn't gonna be getting fucking anybody's numbers and stuff like that, but I genuinely hope those two young women, in fact, all of the ladies we met that night are okay. I genuinely hope they're okay. Because we left and there was still those guys there. You know? Once I went galley mode, a guy was doing similar to girls in a gay bar. I cockblocked him 3 times and told the bar owner after each time thinking he would get kicked out. Took the guy to the bar and gave him loads of free shots. And then now heavily drunk guy came over and started screaming in my face and threatening me. Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's the kind of shit that pisses me off. It really gets under my fucking... Anyway. Long soak in the bath. Do it, Dragon Lady Emma. Do it. I've been scrapped by a few salt attempts so far, and despite being usually very male presenting, threatening, yeah. I wasn't wearing any makeup because it was too fucking hot to wear makeup out there the majority of the time. I wore like a bit of eyeliner. But I still had my dangly earrings. I still had fucking loads of necklaces on. I still very much looked quite alternative, you know? Remember when a similar thing happened to me on holiday and I was approached by 2 women who were scared of 2 guys at the bar who they were convinced were going to follow them home. I walked them home and sure enough, halfway those guys turned up in their car and then right through the window and bluffed some threats, and they drove off fast. Women got home safe. Now, well, I'm good, Max. I'm glad that you were there. I'm glad that you were there for them. You know, old enough that anyone else's mom, I'm throwing hands. Yeah, absolutely. But it was interesting, I will say, because there was definitely, after that situation, and I was really worried as well, because like after it had all calmed down and the adrenaline had calmed down and what have you, I was immediately like, have I just ruined my little brother's stag do? Do you know what I mean? I was immediately like, it's a classic thing, isn't it? It's like, oh, you know, we go on a stag do and then my brother starts fighting somebody. And I should have known my little brother is not like that at all, because all of them, they were just like, yeah, you were in the right. You did the right thing.
Oh, you followed me. Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful being. I really appreciate it. But there was definitely a point where like he had to diffuse the situation between me and another guy, where he was like, nah, everything's cool, everyone's all right, everyone's all right, we're just dancing, and I was like, yeah, everything's cool and all right. You know, but he was like, no, you are in the right, Val. You were in the right, absolutely, 110%. But I was aware of the fact that if you kicked off, then you might get arrested, and that could cause many problems. If we can diffuse the situation without violence, that is preferable. And I was like, touche, you know. Thanks for being nice and safe place to lurk. And remember that, well, that's kind of, oh, President Smith, you're very kind. Thank you. Lucky 2 tank guys came and stood next to me and he left. But yeah, so many guys are just creepy as fuck. Yeah, it's not even shameless about their entitlement. I think they are sculpted by patriarchal society to believe that that is the way they are meant to behave. You know, little bro was having a ball. He really was. He was just fucking dancing. He just wanted to dance. That was all he was. Just having a good time. I'm thoroughly bloody proud of you and your little bro. You're one of only 4 guys I know in person to be awesome, wholesome dude. We need more guys. Thank you very much for that, Druid Midian. Yeah. I can't. I can't see a situation like that and not do something about it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a hero. I'm not some fucking guy in a cape. I'm not trying to be a guy in a cape. Do you know what I mean? I am not that person. But if I see something like that, especially as well now, because of the fact that, despite the fact that I'm a cisgender man, I am now so hyper aware of it because of all the things that I learn and speaking to different people of different genders about their experiences and learning so much about these things. I think
you subscribed. Most kind.
OOF. Hi.
Hi, Pix. How you going? Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right over there. I think there's definitely been situations in the past, like when I was much younger, like where I was in my 20s and what have you, early 20s, that I wouldn't have even noticed. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't have noticed because I didn't have the exposure and understanding of the environment to realize that something was a risk for somebody. Whereas now, because of the fact that I'm so much more educated, so much more aware, have so many friends that open up and talk to me about their experiences, when something like that happens, I clock it immediately. And much to potentially the detriment of my own safety, the idea of consequences doesn't occur to me. It just doesn't enter my mind. So I'm like, cool, this is wrong. I'm going to do something about it. And like I said, I always check in, especially in like situations like that. I'll check in with the lady first, because I've definitely been in a situation myself in the past where I've been like, I'm going to go and defend that woman. And the woman was like, what the fuck are you doing? I can look after myself. And that's me with my own ingrained misogyny being like, oh, this woman needs saving. Here is a woman. A woman can't save herself. I must save her. And it's like, no. Which is the reason why I check in. Are you okay? If you're not, I am happy to step in. If you are, not a problem. I'll be on standby in case it escalates, you know? So yeah. So that was the end of the second night. When we realized I was a matriarchy. I'm 50 and I've had enough of this bullshit. Good question. Good fucking question. I've used random. I think the issue is, Sweepy Hamster, that even a matriarchy wouldn't be good. It's about finding the balance. And unfortunately, in order to find the balance, you've got to pervade through an awful lot of patriarchal bullshit. You know? I've used random men as protection several times, but they do not. They have not stepped in on their own or done anything active. Just use my intuition and find safer ones. And it's like, you're not leaving my side for the rest of the evening. And they're like, okay, sure. Yeah, no, I get that. Do you know what is interesting as well? The woman that I was saying was like my age and what have you. She was like really quite, I don't want to say emotional. She was just very, very thankful on the behalf of the younger women. Like she was just like, hey, can I just say that was really fucking cool? And I was like, again, for me, I'm just like, all right, cool. Like I don't do it because of the thanks. But she was like, I'm so glad that there are people like you that are willing to step up and help out. And I'm like, I think I'm having a bit of an epiphany. I get really awkward about people thanking me in those situations. Because like I would even say, ooh. I would even say that I find it slightly irritating. And I don't think it's because I'm being thanked. I don't think it's anything to do with the person that's thanking me. I think I find it irritating because it should just be normal. It should just be normal for people to see somebody in trouble and step in and do something about it. That should just be standard. So when people thank me and are like really grateful that I do that, I'm like, it's all right, it's fine, it's all right. Like, we'll just carry on with our days. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a little bit irritated, and I'm just like, and now I think about it, I think that's what it is. I think it's the fact that what I consider to be, or what I do, I consider to just be the normal way of doing things. You know, I shouldn't be thanked for just doing the right thing, just being there. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, Small Lads Lover, welcome on in. How you doing? How's it going? Feel this to my fucking core. Mrs. Professor Drunkenstein, welcome on in. How you doing? How's it going? Yeah, it's a whole thing. Right, let me do Pixie's thing, and then we'll talk about the last day, and then we can all go to bed. then we can all go to bed. You know what I mean? Because normally I stream from like 7 p.m. to like 10 p.m. and tonight I streamed from 10 p.m. till whenever time we finish. Big Bomb, I was now scrapping name on the mirror vein. By having your name on the mirror vein means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat. And of course you get access to all the sexy little emotes. You also get a discount on the merch store. I keep forgetting about that one. But yeah, keep getting that one. But the most important thing as well, you know, after all of this time, is you got to roll over every morning, look in the mirror and go, God, do I look rough? Well, god damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy, oh yes, meow, you know? Nibrin, thank you very much. Let me just respond to Jamjat. So I think that's probably where it is. The thanks is also a bit of acknowledgement of connection. Yeah, no, I get it. I think this is the thing is if the shoe was on the other foot, I'd thank somebody. But because it's on my foot, I'm like, this should just be normal. You know? Really hard to know who to trust for 120 years. Took advantage of someone. If someone could have stepped in, yeah. Irritating, but thanks, you deserve it. You save someone from what could have been a night of horrific. Oh, absolutely, little kid. I'm not under any delusions of what I did that night. I just don't. Like I said, I think it's just that kind of behavior should just be normal. Like, especially for guys. And the reason why I say especially for guys, especially for people who are raised male, okay? Because even within the patriarchal system, we are constantly taught from a very, very young age about superheroes. Be a hero. Be a hero. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Be a hero. Be a hero. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. And then we get to like fucking young adult, 18 to 20, and suddenly we just forget all of that. Just fucking disappears, and it's just like, oh yeah, no, fuck heroes. We're just gonna try and get our end away. It doesn't matter about anything. I'm like, whoa, well, what? Wait a minute, what? What happened to do the right thing? Basic shit as well, you know. Oh wow, President Smurf. Fucking hell. I'm trying to read through some stuff because I don't want to read stuff out if it might be accidentally traumatic to other people, you know. Consider perhaps for other people who did not step in. Observing someone being thanked reinforces those observing that actually this was an appropriate action. Yeah, do you know what, Safbridge? I never considered that. People, like all of those people that came over and thanked me for stepping in and behaving like that, it might encourage other people to do that in the future. I'll take that. I'll take that. If that behavior, I would suffer the uncomfortability of being thanked in that scenario if it could help inspire people to step up the way that I did, you know. I remember I filmed like a short the following morning. I haven't posted it yet because my little brother has like literally the following morning, like as I'm about to go into that day now, that morning I woke up after 3 hours sleep. So how many hours we're talking about now? What was it, like 4, 5, 8 hours sleep in 4 days so far. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, 4 days so far. I woke up that morning and was like, I still felt some lingering emotions, as it were. And I was like, I know what I'll do. I will just put my sunglasses on, tie my hair up, and go out to the little balcony that we've got and just film a short for like Instagram, TikTok, etc. And if I never post it, then I never post it. But I'll just get out the emotions. I'll just get the emotions out so that I can just let it lie and then move on with the rest of the day, you know? And then I can just carry on and it'll all be fine and dandy. And I filmed it and I was going to post it this evening, and instead of the one that I did this evening. And the reason why I didn't is because I spoke to my little brother and I was like, do you mind if I post this? Because obviously it's his stag do. He was involved in that. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you can post it, just not today, if that's okay. Because his fiance doesn't know any of the things that happened across the weekend. She like knew about the activities and stuff like that, but she didn't know about the actual like events and stuff. And he was like, I would like to tell her first. So, because if she sees your video, she's going to panic and go, what the fuck happened? Before he has the chance to explain. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to panic her. So that might go out tomorrow or Wednesday. But I literally just sort of like got up and was like, right, I need to get something out just to help me make sense of it in my own head. So I've done that, and I might post it. I might watch it back and be like, do you know what? I don't want to post this. But if I do post it, you'll know about it. You'll know about it. Anyway, Sunday, last day. I will go to bed soon. Don't worry. Sunday, last day. We got up. We had breakfast at Tulipa again. Tulipa. Which was great. I had the same thing that I had before, which was fucking excellent. And then oh, great. I've got my agenda here. This is the reason why I'm checking my phone. I've got my agenda. We went to the beach. Good night. I'll see you later, Even Marksman, you beautiful being. I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for spending your prime here as well. I appreciate that. Went to the beach. Oh, little Kitty, don't worry about it. Don't cause any anger or emotion. You didn't cause any anger or emotions. And you also know that I am open to exploring emotions and stuff. Good night, cultists. Do all your self-care, meds, hydration, food, stretch. Yeah. Thank you very much. Anybody that needs to go, please. I fully understand. It's late. It is late. I'll finish this like what we did on the Sunday, and then we'll raid out for those people that want to raid out and what have you. I know this has been a very odd one, but I'm also back tomorrow, so you know it's all fun dandy. We went to the beach, and the beach was fucking roasting. And I lay down in it, which was really stupid because it meant that all of this sand just stuck to my back because of all of my sweat and sun lotion that was all over me. So I have picked up a little bit of color. You can see the difference here and here. So I have picked up a little bit of color for all those people that were wondering whether I was actually a vampire. I am not. I like the sunshine. All right, the advert's on. No worries. That's all right. That's okay. I hope you all had wonderful weekends. I hope you all had wonderful weekends. You know? I've also been bitten horribly. I've been bitten the entire weekend. I didn't get bitten from anything. And then can you see that? Hold on. You see there? There. This big fuck off bite all over across my neck there. And I've got one on my Achilles tendon as well. And they're horrible. They're blistered and nasty. So it was like horseflies or something. But both of them happened when we were at the airport. Not a vampire exposes vampire bites. Yeah, one of them, they both happened. The entire weekend, I didn't get bitten by a single fucking thing. And then when we were at the airport, I get bitten. Twice. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? You know? And a child calls me a vampire will hand me an umbrella if it's sunny, because I will in fact get nauseous if I'm out in the sun too long. Jeez, yeah, fair. There's a collection of people, specifically on Instagram. There's a collection of people on Instagram who are convinced in a jovial way, that I am a vampire. Oh, I was just talking about my bites, Sweepy Hamster. I wasn't referring to anything. Waited for the adverts to be done. So yeah, that's what I was saying. So we went to the beach. I laid down in the sand, got sand all over me, could not get the sand off for love nor fucking money. Yeah, I think I've been bitten by horseflies. They are not pleasant. They are not pleasant bites. Anyway, we went to the beach for a bit, and then afterwards we went to a thing called beer bikes. Okay. There are videos of this. So the beer bike is a little trolley. I'm going to try and find a picture of it. Of the specific one we did. it's a little trolley with like a bar in the middle of it where they serve you beers. And then around the outside of it, it has, do you know, that's probably a good example. It's not the one, oh. You can't really see anything there. Well, I'll show you this picture. We'll use this picture, okay? So around the outside of it are bike seats and pedals. And the whole thing is electric. But in order to get it to go, you have to pedal. And as you are pedaling, they will provide you with beers. But the entirety of Porto is hills. So it's all uphill, downhill, uphill, downhill. It was so slow. So slow. And yeah, we were just drinking beers and put on some music, fucking having a wild time, shouting out. We were all like, as we got there as well, because everyone was a little bit tender from the night before. As we got there, we were all like, oh God, this is going to be painful. My legs were already killing me. By that point, we'd already done like 40,000 steps. I don't count the steps, but some of the other guys who were like well into their fitness and stuff were counting steps. And I did a good 10,000 more than they did because I arrived there 6 hours early and wanted to go and see things around Porto while I had the time to do so. Like the Sex Museum, for example. So we did one of these and they just kept providing us beers and they were absolutely fucking legendary. These guys were so fucking good. They were so fucking good that at the end of the bike tour, one of the chains had come off and I fixed it. They were like, oh no, we've got another tour. And I was like, well, why don't you deal with the other tour? Give me those gloves, like the fucking handyman gloves, and I'll fix your chain. And he was like, what? No, you don't need to do that. I was like, I don't mind. It's fine. Sorry. Give me those handyman gloves. I'll do it. You fucking deal with your next customers. Do you know what I mean? Shinobi Geisha, how you doing? How's it going? So, yeah, we did this. Then we went back to the beach to wait for a taxi. As we were walking away from the one of the guys that worked there had been to the shop to buy more beers for the next group, and as we walked by him, he opened the cool bag and was like, take some for the road. So we took like a couple of beers with us, which was fucking hilarious. Went back to the beach, wait for a taxi, got home, got showered, and it was like, right, get home, get showered, get yourself all prettied up and what have you. Now, by this point, my little brother had not been made to wear anything stupid. When we went to the beach and for the beer bike thing, he was wearing like a lobster shirt and a pair of like tiny little pants that were covered in his fiance's face. He did wear shorts over the top of that for public decency, but we did make him take the shirts off in order to humiliate him because he's the stag, of course. All done in jovial dynamics, for sure. Oh, yeah, he also had giant lobster flip-flops. Like sandals that were giant lobsters, which made it very hard for him to pedal for a while. But we got there. It was fine. No worries, Minya. You take it easy, you beautiful bean. How was the trip? We're just going over it. Now. It's a whole thing. Call a random Facebook reel of you reading the Jabberwocky. It was just superb. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Shinobi Geisha. I really appreciate that. You are very, very welcome here, Cheeky Devil. You've come in when I'm a bit disorientated because I think we worked out that I've had like 11 hours sleep in 5 days and an unreasonable amount of alcohol because it was my little brother's bachelor party, my little brother's stag do over the weekend, and we all went out to Porto in Portugal, which was amazing. But chaos and shenanigans happened. So we went after the bike, we went back to the flat. Everyone got washed and changed and made ourselves look pretty and what have you. And then we all wore shit shirts. So I had a Hawaiian shirt. The bodybuilder guy had my lobster shirt. You know, like I've got a big white lobster shirt that's just like covered in lobsters. There was guys with like 1980s patterns on them. A guy that was like wearing a green like St. Patrick's Day shirt that was just covered in little leprechauns with beers on them and stuff. My little brother wore a shirt. Let me see if I think I can get an image of it without giving any of their faces away. My little brother wore like a Galaxy shirt with a sloth riding an alpaca that was surfing a slice of pizza or something. It was a whole fucking thing. And he also wore a captain's hat. And the reason why he wore a captain's hat is because the last event, the last thing that we were doing was going on. There it is. Open image in new tab, so we don't have to worry about you seeing any of those messages because they get unhinged. So this was the shirt that my little brother wore on the thingy. It's 11 hours of sleep, and that amount of alcohol reminds me of the festivals I've been to, except most of it happened in the first 2 days. Sounds about right. Sounds about right, Ginster. This was the shirt that my little brother wore, which was hilarious. So the last and a captain's hat, because the last thing that we did was we went onto a party boat, which was like a tiny little boat that just had music and a bar, and it basically sailed down the river, went under all 7 bridges, turned round, came back down the river to like the mouth of the river, and then turned like side on so that everyone could get photos of the sunset as it set down behind Porto, which was it was beautiful, absolutely fucking beautiful, and one of the prettiest sunsets I've seen. But it just all like sank down. It was gorgeous, and we were all just dancing and partying and what have you, which was wild. We just there was also a moment. All right, friends, there was also a moment because on the boat there was obviously the staff, all bits and pieces, but then there was 2 guys who were wearing no t-shirts. They were local gentlemen wearing no t-shirts but wearing bright orange high vis, and they were drinking and they were dancing, and we were like, who the fuck are these guys? I think they were like staff, but they were like for mooring and stuff like that, or maybe it was like their night off or something. Anyway, doesn't matter. One of them looked exactly like one of the guys from the previous evening that I'd had. I'm not going to say we. I'm not going to put the blame on everyone else. I had an altercation with. It wasn't him. It was a completely different guy, but it was very similar. And he came over and he was dancing with us and he was having a really, really good time. He was a chill dude and what have you. It was good fun. But there was a good moment. It's specifically, like I said, my friend who was the bodybuilder, he clocked him and he was like, Val, and I was like, what? And he was like, is that him? And I was like, no, he wouldn't be coming over and being chill with us like that if that was him. There's no way. There is no way. But there was a moment where I was like, oh my fucking god. We are like, if we have a fight here, there's nowhere to go. We're on a boat. You know what I mean? Then there was like our stag do, and then there was like 2 other hen parties, which is like a bachelorette party for those people not from the UK and all the Europe area. Then there was like loads of like little groups of people, and people were just dancing, having a good time. There was like an older couple that were like ballroom dancing, but like to house music. It was fucking great. It was just adorable. And then it's sort of like there was a woman there who was traveling by herself. Her name was B. And she said, you can call me B, which is not the same thing. And she was like, thanks for letting me come and join you. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, not a problem. And she was like, I'm traveling by myself. And she spent 4 nights on like the south of Portugal, and then 4 nights in Porto itself. And that was like one of the nights that she was there before she moves on to the next place. I was like, oh my fucking god, what a great thing. I hope you enjoy your stay. She had a great time with us. And we always kept bumping into the different hen do's and what have you. There was a point where the two hens and my little brother were doing like a dance off together, which was fucking hilarious. But there was bars that were holding up like the roof of this this boat, and then people started pole dancing on the bars. And then I turned around to my friend and was like, please, I'm a little bit tipsy now. Please do not let me dance on the bar, dance on the pole. And he literally looked me dead in the eye and went, now you've said it, you know I'm going to encourage it. And I was like, fuck. So once the boat had moored up and the party kept going because we were moored up, and I was like, all right, cool, yeah, shits and giggles, meh. And then people started making room for the pole. And I was like, oh no, because now I'm really tempted. And so I did an invert flip thing. And my little brother was like, I have never seen you like this. What was that? Where did that come from? And I was like, I haven't done that move in 10 years. I have probably pulled some ligaments I can't feel yet. It is just a whole fucking thing. But that sort of like kicked it all off again. And then we were like, yeah, that's great and fun and dandy. And then one of the hen parties was from the UK. And we ended up like amalgamating with their party. So we all went to like a local bar and we all just got really drunk together. And it was just really nice people. They were all like a part of a rowing team from like somewhere down south, somewhere like London area maybe. But they seem to be really, really nice people. We just had a really, really good time just chatting away to them, having a bit of a laugh, bit of a blast. Had a few more drinks there, and then made our way back to the flat where we kept drinking. My little brother wanted to play a game where we had to decide on a movement, and the person's out of the room, and we have to decide on a movement, and then the person comes back in the room, and they've got to work out what the movement is, but purely from us going, eh, ooh, boo, boo, eh, boo. And it was so weird. Like, I went out and I came back and I was like, okay, so you move your hand, eh, oh, eh, oh, oh, oh. And of course they weren't consistent. They weren't consistent. So some of I was going like this, and some were like boo, and some were like hey, and I was like, what am I doing? There was one point where I was on my knees, and immediately my brain was just like la, 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 you know, fucking doing all this, and they're like boo, but my knees were the right thing. My knees were the right thing, but the sucking people off was wrong. And then it turns out that what they wanted me to do was this. Holy boy in prayer. And I was like, you bastards. And then after that, we all went to bed and got up this morning, went and had some breakfast, made our way to the airport, and all of that kerfuffle happened. And now I'm here. Now I'm home. Now I've had we was at, I don't even fucking know. Like, 14 hours sleep, 15 hours sleep maximum over the past like 5 days. So, yeah, and an unholy amount of alcohol. An unholy amount of alcohol in the best possible way. So yeah, so there you go, friends. That was my Porto extravaganza. And you're streaming. Yeah. Well, I said I was gonna, sweet beat. I said I was like, all right, I will get home and I will start streaming. Now, I wasn't expecting the hour and a half delay to the flight. I also wasn't expecting the thingy. I was expecting to be online by like 8, maybe half 8 at the latest. The fact that I started at 10 was very out of the ordinary. However, now that we've concluded all of that, we're gonna go raid somebody. Did you tell us the altercation at the airport? There was no altercation at the airport. Altercation was at the on the Saturday night. There was no altercation at the airport. No, they tried to they broke my fucking sunglasses. And they tried to because my sunglasses somehow magically sprang off the fucking tray that I put them in the machine, the X-ray machine. And they took my boots that I was wearing. I was wearing like some like walkie boot type things. They took my walkie boots to be swabbed for drugs. Oh yeah, and I said so on the as I was passing through like security and what have you, you know, where you've got to hand over your passport and they're like, what was the purpose of your trip? When did you arrive? What, like all that jazz. They were like, what was the purpose of it? They were like, when did you arrive? I was like, Friday. And they were like, where did you stay? And I was like, this place in Porto.
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
Oh my lordy. Most Effect, thank you very much for coming in for that. You cheeky little devil. Louisa Jones, how you doing? How's it going? I'm an artist. Would love to draw some emotes. No. No, friend. Louisa Jones, I don't know whether you're aware of Twitch etiquette and stuff like that, but just generally giving you a heads up, that is the worst way you can advertise on Twitch. Going in and into a random channel and saying, hey, I'm an artist, I'd love to draw emotes and stuff, is actually the worst way. Because so many people do it that it means that everybody just gets annoyed by it. Okay? I'm just giving you that heads up. I'm not going to like kick you or ban you or anything like that. Most people will just kick you and ban you. I'm just going to give you that information with the hopes that you take that on board and hopefully you will then not get banned from everywhere. Okay? Just giving that heads up. Giving that heads up. Most Effect, you cheeky little devil. Thank you very much for coming in with the 2 months. Being a paid subscriber, taking us that one step closer to the 60-40 split for July. Most Effect, your name is inscribed on the mirror vein. By having your name on the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you got to roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, do I look rough? Oh, God damn, do I make rough look good? Ooh, sexy. Oh, yes, me. Yeah, you know? Says Louisa's account's been deactivated or suspended. Well, that in which case, what they probably did was they probably opened up a cosmic fuckton of tabs of different channels and then just spammed the same message and got very quickly banned. I would imagine. Yeah, there was the only real altercation that happened with the airport was the fact that as I was saying, they were checking in, doing bits and pieces, doing security. Why have you been here? And they were like, where did you stay? And I was like, this place. And they were like, what time did you arrive? And I was like, this day and what have you. And then they were like, why were you here? And I said, I was here for a stag do. And the gentleman behind the thing, evidently he speaks Portuguese. English isn't his first language, fully understandable that. But and bearing in mind that Portugal is the place where all drugs are legal. Fuck me. I was offered cocaine 200 times a night. 200 times a night. I don't take narcotics. Narcotics are not my fucking cup of tea by any stretch of the imagination. But a guy literally on the first day I was there came over to me and was like, hey man, hey. And I was like, you all right? How's it going? And we did a little fist bump and he was like, cocaine? And I was like, no, I don't want any cocaine. But he went, no, come on, we cocaine. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm all right. I don't want any cocaine. We're all right. It's okay. And he was like, how about I give you cocaine, you give me food to eat? And I was like, I'm good. I'm all right. Good luck with your search for food to eat. But what the fuck? And I was like, this is the country where all drugs are legal. Like they're all legal. Like why are you selling them to me in a really sketchy dynamic if they're all legal? I think there's somebody was saying that, I don't know how true this is, so I like take it with a pinch of salt, but somebody was saying that I think you can have drugs and you can use them for personal purposes, but you're not allowed to sell drugs in Portugal. All drugs are legal. Yeah, so Portugal is like one of the only countries where they basically, what they did was they legalized all drugs. And they were like, right, all of the money that we put into our narcotics division of the police, we are now going to put into rehabilitation. And the statistics behind it are fucking wild. If you look at their statistics, drug-related crime dropped by like 96% in a couple of months. Because none of it was that you weren't breaking the law to have it. You weren't breaking the law to think it. You were actively reinforcing like good like rehabilitation things and stuff like that. It was wild. The statistics behind it are wild. Like, it is one of those things that every country should be doing, but none of them will because they're all afraid of the way that America are. Like, the UK won't even legalize marijuana because they're afraid of their relations with America. But anyway, that's when we get into fucking all that bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Almost like retribution punishment isn't the way. I agree. I think that there are certain dynamics that punishment isn't necessarily for the person being punished, but for the justice of the affected. But if you are genuinely talking about like stuff like drug related crimes and stuff like that, yeah, I agree. Is it legalization or decriminalization? Good question. Not entirely sure. It's like the homeless thing. Turns out the best thing to do is give them a place to stay. Who knew? Yeah, effectively, yeah. But yeah, marijuana is legal here on prescription. Yes. Yeah, but that's the same as America. Which UK had dispensaries and the way that some Americas and states do. Well, I'm not. I'm too tired for that conversation. I am too tired for that conversation. And Ginster, thank you very much for providing the link of the drug policy for Portugal. But yeah, links are not allowed. Links are not allowed. The reason why links are not allowed, by the way, HIH Ginster, is because when I first started streaming, somebody came and spammed a shitload of pornography in my chat. So we got rid of links very, very quickly. We did so legal here that there's a pot shop in every corner. Yeah, there was a lot of them in Portugal. They do decriminalize personal possession. That's it. So you cannot be arrested for having drugs on your person, but I think you can be arrested for selling drugs, or maybe selling over a certain amount of drugs or something like that. Anyway, friends, I'm tired. To the surprise of fucking nobody, I am tired. So we are gonna go and raid somebody. We're gonna go throw some love at another delightful individual. And ladies and gentlemen, and all genders outside and between, I would very much appreciate it if you could come over with us to go and throw some love at another delightful individual. Cause stuff and things and bits and pieces and fun and games and all that jazz, you know? Sure, we'll go raid you. Friends, if you could stick around for the raid, even if it's only like 5-10 minutes, I realize it's really fucking late, so many of you probably don't want to, and that's entirely fair. That is entirely fair. But if you can stick around for the raid, I would really, really appreciate it. Before we go anywhere, could you do me a massive, massive, massive favor and throw some mod loves out in the chat, especially tonight, because I do not stream this late. I very rarely stream this late. I've been streaming very unweird. I need sleep. I've been sleeping very weird times. Streaming very weird times tonight. Not sleeping. Oh, God. Oh, good Lord. Mods, thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much for all you do. Thanks so much for all you do in and out of stream. All the stuff you do for me behind the scenes and all the stuff you do for this wonderful community. I really, really appreciate it, you beautiful beings. Please, please, please look after yourselves. Friends, we're going to go raid our dear friend Dambe. Dambe is a TikTok celebrity. If I'm a TikTok celebrity, this guy is definitely a TikTok celebrity. He's got like 3 times the amount of followers I do. And as we all know, followers make celebrity status, according to TikTok, okay? Okay, it is indeed midnight tonight. midnight tonight. Friends, if you are a subscriber, please copy and paste this first raid message. If you're not a subscriber, please copy and paste the second raid message. That's the first Botavane raid message for subscribers. The second Botavane raid message for non-subscribers. If you would like to use your own emotes, you are welcome to do so. Absolutely. Friends, don't forget that I have an extra stream this week on Thursday at 7 p.m. BST, where we are going to be celebrating my birthday through the medium of getting a little bit drunk and a lot of stupid dares. If you think that our streams normally are chaotic, you don't even fucking know about it, because we are going to have a wild time. A wild time on Thursday.
Little stalker.
Thursday, the 16th of July. Thursday, 16th of July at 7 p.m. BST. 7 p.m. British time. where we'll do all the dares that have been voted by people. Anyway, friends, see you later. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for all raid subs, give subs, all the little bitties. Thanks for all the little bits and pieces. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. BST. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.